Hey. So I went for a walk with my roommate's dog, and before I went, I don't know, I'm a nerd. I wanted to read the amendments to the Constitution because I was like, geez, I don't know much past five, I think, at least not offhand. And I started realizing how much of it was about, unlawful taxes and seizure of property and things like this. I was like, and then I thought, man, we basically rebelled against Britain because of taxes. And then I thought, wow, we are taxed for so much now. But how and why? Well, there's a lot going on. I mean, in the Midwest, this is the highest snowfall of any February this year on record. And it caused huge floods. All these things, people come in, government workers, to help out, which is a wonderful thing, and this is what our taxpayers go to, or tax dollars, I mean. And that's what they should go to. And I was thinking, but that's weird because like they didn't have that before. I know people kind of just took it on themselves, and that could go bad too. Watch Gangs New York. That stuff's really kind of real about with the firefighters. It was just like local people in their own like groups. It wasn't a government run thing, and it was volunteer basically, and they'd fight with each other and whatnot to put out the fire, and the fire would just spread while they were fighting with who's got to do it. So, taxes, okay, they make sense so we can have these clean roads in the winter. We can have people dealing with flood damages. We can have uh, firefighters, police departments, wonderful things, stuff we need to make our lives easier and better. I was like, well, how they used to do it, though. I'm thinking, like, well, I guess it's just more, people took it upon themselves. And I thought that's kind of the way it works in small towns or even in a city where there's an actual community. People do the sort of things. Everyone clears off their part of the sidewalk because they know the neighbor, and they know that oh, that's the Jacksons. Their son just hurt his knee, and he can't scoop it for him, and his mom is got a bad hip or something, or their grandma comes over a lot and she can't walk the best. I better take care of that for him. That's the nice thing to do. Or storm comes and limbs fall, and well, I know across the street there, that's an older couple. They're not gonna be able to clean all that up. I'll go over and help out with that. Oh man, look what's in the road! Big old limbs. I better get those out of there. I know. I grew up on a farm, and our neighbor would always, long before the government workers who cleared the roads would get there, which of course, because they're clearing the main roads, he'd come over with his plow and plow us out all the way up through our driveway, just taking care of your neighbors. And I thought, well, man, that sucks that it's not like that anymore. And I'm like, well, I guess it still is. In my own lifetime, I remember these things, and I know I help out around the neighborhood. I thought, well, geez, why do we need all these taxes? I'm like, well, you can't just get rid of all this work. And before I go any further, I just want to know that a lot of our taxes are stolen from us. So I'm well aware that most of the money we pay for taxes doesn't go to the stuff that we actually need, and if it only went to the stuff we needed, like road maintenance and or not or street cleaning when there's snow, or taking care of flood damage, or firefighters or police departments or things like this, if all our money, all the money just went to programs like that, there'd be a ton left over. I know that a lot of it's stolen for stuff that we don't know about. But let's focus on what we can prove and do know about. We're paying a lot of money for these services. And I realize, wouldn't it just make more sense, though, to outsource, to hire to a private company that makes a good bid? The most reliable company with the cheapest bid on taking care of road maintenance. And think about how much quicker it get done, because this is the way contractors work. Everyone who's ever worked for the government and worked in private, which I've done both, private works faster because they are making money and they want to have a good business. They want to have a good reputation. The government's just getting your money no matter what. It's forced. You're forced taxpayer money. You're going to pay them, so they get it either way. All I think is we can't go back to complete volunteer. It'd be wonderful if we could, but that's why communism will never work. It's a great idea It doesn't work. Human nature just doesn't work that way. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Some people will choose to do what's wrong. Okay? And they have the right to do so as long as it doesn't harm anyone. But communism, people will harm others. So in an ideal world, yeah, you just help your neighbor. You'd clean off your part of the sidewalk. You'd help out in the neighborhood. Everyone would just take care, the responsibility upon themselves. But that's not an ideal world. So why wouldn't we just outsource to a private company for a lot of this work? And I know people who are government workers might get mad, or think that say they're going to lose their jobs. Yeah, maybe, or you could just go into the private industry. I mean, come on, or find another line of work with similar trade and skills. But it would be better for everyone. I mean, with our government, they of course wouldn't lower the taxes. Like they could do that, but they wouldn't. Though, and the other problem is when they do outsource, they never seem to go to the best bid. They always seem to go to their cousin's husband who has a business, and they want to help each other out, sort of thing. And they don't care. Look at Congress's approval rating. They don't care. What do they care at all? First off, they know most people won't even hear about it. So, and second of all, they don't care. Why are all these Congress people getting so rich? What's going on? We know what their salary is, but yet they're this much richer after so many years. What, huh? Have you been investing really well? What's going on here? Is there some insider trading happening? Because this is ridiculous. How all of you are getting so wealthy as public servants. The only public servants who get to make decisions. And I think that, and I got to thinking while I was walking Dende over here, I think that's what Trump thought. I really do. I think he thought, all you need to do is get some, like autistic, right brain minded accountant people who will just look at the numbers and then get somebody like Trump, who, maverick business guy, to, in real estate, make budget cuts based on bids, outsource. Like, let's just look at the books. Let's look at how to manage this sort of thing. For some reason, my Trump voice in my mind sounds like Vince Vaughn. I don't know why. But let's just make some decisions, guys. Let's get some things going, things click, 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 and we'll get going. I know what I'm doing here. We'll look at the books. We'll get some smart people to go over it. We'll make some decisions. We'll negotiate some great deals, cut some money, make some money. It's going to be great for everybody. The difference is, though, Trump, and I'm not trying to sound super smart. He's a way smarter guy than I am, obviously. But government doesn't work that way, unfortunately. Because in a business, even though people might be motivated by different things, they still might be greedy. They want the money, they want the fame, they want the power. The goal is still the same: to make the business better and to grow the business, to make more money for the business and the stockholders or whatever. Now, you might do it for fame or whatever other reason, but that's the goal. That's not the goal for a lot of our representatives. It just obviously isn't. The goal isn't to make the best decision for America. If it was, then we wouldn't have the war that we have between right and left. Because right and left, typically, they just see things from a different aspect, but they want the same goal. But that's not what's the case. First off, many of them, their goal is to get rich. They don't care about America. They want to get rich. They don't care what the interests of their constituents are. They care what the interests of the lobbyists that give them money are. I mean, we know this. This isn't even right or left conspiracy theory thing. This is what people in all walks of life talk about. This is what everyone can agree on, even when they can't agree on which side they fall on. They can agree that politicians are corrupt for the most part, and we see it. We know it, and I wonder if Trump realized that, if he really thought he could clean house. I mean, to clean house, it's going to take generations, to be honest, because you're going to have to start educating the kids again about the Constitution, the amendments, and public responsibility and service to your community, and how to manage money, and what our rights mean, and why we care for them, and what values really are, and then people find their own values. And that's not, and then critical thinking and problem solving skills. That's really not what's going on, for the most part, I don't think. And also, just the lifestyles that we lead. And I don't mean to sound like puritanical or anything, but it's pretty self-serving. It's about materialistic things. It's about you. It's about what you can get, and most people don't want to take the time to serve the community in such a great aspect. Like Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. That's from the Bible. To those whom much is given, much is also expected. It's the same thing. And there's a lot of people who, when given great power, it corrupts them. I mean, Tech Nine says it best. Absolute power, it corrupts absolutely. And that's what's going on with a lot of the politicians. And I was just walking around thinking that. I was like, man, why don't we just all take care of each other? Oh man, why don't we just outsource that? Because I know a lot of people just can't, or there's too much going on to take care of today's society. Oh well, they do already do private contracting, and a lot of it just goes to like family, friends, and stuff. Oh man, well, why don't people get involved with politics more and the common man be a politician again? Well, it takes so much money, and well, most people just don't want to have that kind of responsibility. Real problem is that most people who would be best at the job of being a congressman, they just want to work a good job that they enjoy, come home, spend time with their family, and play cards with their buddies. You know, that's what most people just want to do, which is the ideal life, of course. I mean, that's what I want to do. But when you know you can do more, you kind of have to do more. And that was my thought while I was on my walk. But hopefully it made sense and you guys enjoyed it to whomever may watch this.